Hi everyone, I'm Mike Lane. I'm with Extreme Networks. I'm a new CWNE. I just got certified after the Phoenix conference, and this is my first 10 talk, so just a little bit nervous. Not really. Anyway, I chose this topic simply because I'm really not here to shill for my company, even though I put it right in the title there that this is something that is a differentiator for this particular product. When I saw this in a training, when I saw this feature, I thought, wow, this is the bee's knees. I thought this is something that I would really use and that we can use. So I just want to throw it out there and let everybody know that it's there. Some vendors do a subset of what this, I'm about to show you. And I think that all the vendors, all the bigger enterprise vendors, the full features vendors should be doing something like this. So this is really just a call to action that this should be a standard feature. So apparently clicking doesn't advance. I'm not really a PowerPoint guru. So what is Wing? If anybody doesn't already know, Wing came from Symbol, then Motorola, then Zebra, and now us. Extreme Networks has two platforms. Our Extreme Wireless, our legacy Extreme Wireless, which is still a very active and developed platform, comes from Identify, HighPath, Siemens, Chantry, and we have acquired Zebra this last year. So big things about Wing, they're really special for these verticals, retail, hospitality, transportation, and logistics. And I have personally deployed them, and I've heard stories about deployments in some very exotic locations. So Wing is everywhere and can solve quite a few interesting problems. So since its main deployment model was for very large scale retail and manufacturing logistics deployments, does very good meshing, that kind of thing, it really needed good tools for remote administration. So these tools are available. Some of these tools came from air defense and have been ported in, but these are all now available in standard Wing. And they're just accessed through the Wing management system called Insight. So I'm going to be focusing on the top one, packet capture, but a brief mention of the others. Packet capture, what's special about it, we're about to see. But wireless debugging, more than just syslog. We look at radius messages. We look at a lot of different types of messages. That one deserves a 10 talk on its own, I think, actually, because of how full-featured that is. Ping traceroute, that's pretty obvious. AP testing, that's interesting, far more than a ping test or a traceroute test, but there's throughput tests. We do client emulation tests. That's a cool one too. And then spectrum analysis, that did come from air defense, and that's been ported over. And again, that could use its own 10 talk. So you can do all of these throughout the enterprise, beyond the enterprise really, because Wing can scale globally to tens of thousands of APs in a single domain. Well, different radio frequency domains, of course, over several countries, but in a single administrative domain. So packet capture, it says, I put it here, capture only what you want, capture anywhere, capture everywhere. So this is the main crux of my point today, is that you can narrow in on a single client and capture throughout the entire RF domain and keep that going. There are some limits in the number of packets you can do in a single run and limits in the file size for now, and I'm not sure if we're going to be expanding on that, but usually for this kind of targeted packet capture, the limits are well within. It's 4,000 packets, 15 megabytes. So this is the overall view of what the tool looks like, and this is a zoom in of exactly where you would set up a packet capture. And so the key thing is, these are the two big things. So capture locations. We can capture at bridge on an AP. Oh, this is all the APs, of course. All dropped frames, wired frames, or wireless frames. And this is a little bleached out, but you have choices here exactly where you would do that. So wired, like which VLAN, which port, that kind of stuff. So in the direction. So if they're multi-port, and in what direction. Okay, so that's that. And then the filter. Another key part of this, filter by MAC address, IP, protocol, or port, TCP or UDP port, meaning. So that's that. So here's the workflow. First thing you have to do, it's 2 steps, real simple. And in the 2-step workflow, first is identify the client. Of course, you can capture, just like most enterprise vendors, you can capture an AP, and you can do it in line. So you do not have to take an AP offline. But this is different, right? So find the client. We have, and I think most vendors have pretty good reporting on clients. I think we do it better, but that's just my opinion. But in here, you can get all this detail, everything you'd want to know about its current association, detail about the client, location, usage, errors, all that kind of stuff. So we go find one based on maybe a criteria. We might have found this through a report. High retransmissions in a certain area of the building, go drill down, find maybe that there's one client that is doing more of that. That's all standard reporting. And then now let's go drill down even farther and get the packet capture. So this workflow, this whole workflow from trouble ticket or whatever alarm you've seen to getting down to the needle in that haystack should be a matter of seconds, really, a couple minutes maybe. So to zoom in on this gives you a little more detail on what the tuples that we can look for, and MAC address and IP address obviously are the key ones you would look for. So I highlight MAC address, and then of course I go in and I did a capture on IP. And then you just run it. Step 2, run it, and you can send it to screen, you can save it to disk, and then read it in your favorite analyzing tool. And that's actually it, and I did it in 5.5 minutes. So really, I can give you the time back or open it up to Q&A. Yes.
Hang on one second.
He asked if, you can do that for the next one. He asked if the radio tap header was included. So obviously, if you're capturing on the wireless of those 4 different options, the radio tap header is included. Next question.
Michael, what version of Wing was that? Because I've been familiar with 5.8, 5.8.4.
Yes.
This does not look familiar at all.
It's 5.9. This is 5.9, the latest, and it's in NetSite. And I think this came out in this form in 5.9.0. Is that correct? Anyone? My colleagues? Got a couple colleagues. Yeah, 5.9.0.
Okay,
so we're on 5.9.1 now.
Thank
just
you.
being released. Anyone else? So the only requirement is Wing. There's no extra license. Spectrum analysis does require a license, but other than that, it's just NetSite. I'm sorry, NSite. I mix it up because we have another product, NetSite. Any last questions? Okay, then I'd like to return 3.5 minutes back to the folks. That's it.